sure I was coaching the girls at first, which the girls, man, middle school, anybody that coached middle school girls basketball can tell you, you might got 1 or 2 girls that actually play basketball. Everybody else might be a cheerleader, playing the band. I had girls that would play for me and then cheer and for the boys game. I had girls that were doing orchestra. Like I had girls that were I had 2 or 3 girls that were really basketball players out of 9 that came out for tryouts. 9 girls came out for tryouts out of the whole school. I had 9 girls came out for tryouts. Couldn't cut nobody, obviously. Right, so like I said, I love coaching the girls. Like I love coaching the girls, and starting the season, I was only coaching the girls. But around the Christmas time, the boys, they ended up wanting me to coach them as well. They got into it with their first coach, and they were kind of like, Coach Hawkins, we want you to coach us too. So that's a lot. Because I had to. Really think on that. That's a lot, coaching the boys and the girls. So
a lot of time away from your family.
That's a lot of time. You know what I'm saying? So
that's the most important thing.
And I get back to that aspect I get back to that too. So I took the job right after the Christmas tournament. Right after Christmas time, I took the job. I was coaching the girls and the boys. So I think the girls, we had lost 1 game before then. The boys, they had lost twice during the Christmas tournament. And then the girls, like I said, we lost again right after the Christmas break, and then neither of the teams lost. And obviously, we won the city championships with both of them. But just going back on it, man, when I think about it, the girls, I really enjoy coaching the girls because you really see the improvement from girls that don't know how to play basketball to we won the city championship by 24 points. It wasn't even close. You know what I'm saying? And that same Churchton team beat us the first game of the season. They beat us again right after Christmas. And to see those girls to see Jada. Jada had 24 points. She outscored them by herself. To see her really take that next step forward. To see my girls that weren't even talking now, they communicate on the floor. That was excellent. The boys, just being real, you was at the game, you filmed the game, that shit, your son could have coached them probably, and they could have won, but even with them, it was more all right, let's win the right way, guys. Let's not go out there and that's because we can beat them by 40, let's just start doing stupid stuff. That was the part of, coaching Carmelo and Jamal. It was okay, guys, y'all are better than these kids, but let's start working on stuff to get ready for JV to high school level. So with Carmelo, I'm just getting all the way from what you asked me, but
you're good.
With Melo, I actually moved him to the point. I was like, hey, you need to start handling the ball. Melo, if I want you to go ahead and get 30, you can do that with your eyes closed. You're the best scorer around here. But that's not what we need. That's not what you need to develop. You had to start handling the ball. So, of course, me and his dad, we got together, and that's what we started working on to where, now he's more of a lead guard. So when Melo gets to high school, Melo's going to be like a James Harden type of player to where he can handle the ball, but he can shoot. And you're not going to be able to check him. He's already bigger than a lot of guards. So that's where, on the middle school level, and like I said, going back to coaching the girls and the boys, it was such a joy to me. But mainly the girls. And I love my boys. I love them. They still follow me on. They're going to probably see this and be mad. Some are going to be mad. But it just with the girls, it was just so much more rewarding.
What was it? I know you said the boys was a coach, but what was it like at those? I know Portsmouth games, because Portsmouth's so small, it's always gonna be a lot of people at the games.
And there's only one side.
But going to those middle school games, the boys games, you see so much media there trying to show Melo and Jamal on. What was that like controlling that? Because I was there. Slam, overtime.
That changed crazy. I think he was there for a couple. It was crazy, man. It was so dope, but it's honestly, I loved it. I did I ain't gonna lie, I did like it because it was one you'll know and first of all, who's gonna win every game by 30? So it's you know what I'm saying. So it's gonna look good, man. But it wasn't any pressure or anything. This middle school we talking about, bro. These kids, they gonna play high school, college, some might go pro. It's middle school. You know what I'm saying? There ain't no pressure, but it's dope. I ain't gonna lie, it's dope. When I go to because I coach at the middle school, so when I go to the elementary school where I teach at, the kids are like, Mr. Hawkins, I seen you on Slam, or I seen you on such and such. I'm like, what? It's yeah, I seen you on such, you know what I'm saying? So that ain't dope, but like I can only imagine like for if I was in middle school, and this is where I give Maul and Melo so much credit. If I was in 7th grade and I had all of these media outlets coming to my games, what kind of an asshole would I be? You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And those guys, other than the typical kid stuff, like they really handled it well. Like they handled it well. They, especially Melo, you know, because playing with somebody like Maul gets a lot of attention. You know, deservedly so. He gets a lot of attention. But Melo is a very skilled player. And he could be selfish if he wanted to, but he wasn't like that for us. You know what I'm saying? So it was dope, man. It was one time like, and this is the difference between me and the other coach. He didn't like the attention, you know. But you know, like I used to tell him, you need to enjoy it because when will this ever happen for us again? Like,
I know that was gonna be one. I know because everybody said so they only playing this one middle school season, and then they're gonna play
JV. But see, we had it to where we were still gonna get an opportunity. We were gonna play LeBron's son, the youngest son. We were supposed to play them up in DC for the Mid-Atlantic, the middle school showcase. We were supposed to play them or
that would have been crazy.
It's either them or Pullen, Thomas Pullen. They were on a KD documentary, but we were going to play one of those schools. So, like I said, when you have kids like that, though, you don't limit them. You don't, hey, we're just going to play this. We're going, no, man. We had an event at Norcom. Like, I enjoyed all of it. Just like,
that was nice.
Even with the girls, like, I don't know when I have another Jada. You know what I'm saying? Like, those kind of kids don't come through Portsmouth so often. See, Maul 6'4", but Maul Maul got skill and Maul got a dog in him. You don't really see that with middle school kids, and you know people say, oh, you know, reclass kid, whatever. I had a kid on my team that was older than Maul, and he played nothing like Maul, like nothing like Maul. I had a kid when I was at Craddock that was older than Maul, nothing like that. That's natural. You didn't coach that. You know what I'm saying? So. Yeah, no. Like I said, I don't want to down talk nobody else program, but we talking about best. Like once I took that job, nobody would have beat us. It was different. Like it's different. It's the same with my girls. It's confidence. It's stuff that you instill in those kids. That's now we know we can play with anybody. That's it.
It definitely wasn't talk on Twitter though.
I know. It was talking on Facebook. Look, see the thing was on Facebook, it was Hugo. That was the conversation. Can we be Hugo? And again, I don't want to talk about anybody's kids because I cover a lot of those kids and they're good kids, but there's a difference when you talk about kids that were just like Maul and Melo was bred for that from the time they was in third. You know, you cover Melo when he's in the 3rd grade. Yeah. They were bred for that. Yeah. They're bred to play basketball. These kids that work out all day, every day. Those kids that sell them ain't doing that.
I still tell everybody this. No one likes basketball more than Melo.
Come on, man.
Every time I talk to Melo family.
In the gym. No question. We have
in the gym.
Practice, hour and a half. So we do individual workouts. Another hour after practice. Him, my daughter, Jada. But Melo, they leading the group. Melo, Gene, they're leading the group. That kid got to work ethic. Like, people talk all they want. Like just being keeping it a buck. People talk about him, you know, well, he don't deserve the attention and blah 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 blah. How many kids do you really see? And we talk about middle school, high school, whatever. How many kids got a work ethic like that? Where they're always in the gym. It ain't many. So he gets what he deserves to get. He works for that. And that's the part about this area that I really hate is the adults. They really down talk the kids like for no reason.